Hello, it's Carrie from On the Mark Creations by Carrie, and I'm going to do a bow tutorial with you today. This one is a pink Christmas one, and I'm going to be using this pink and white Christmas tree 4-inch ribbon. I'm going to be using the 1.5 inch to match it. And then I'm also going to be using the Sam's Club pink and silver white striped 2.5 inch. I'm going to be using your basic white canvas 2.5 inch, and then the white 1.5 inch royal burlap and pink, solid pink royal burlap. And probably the white 7/8 inch for the center. So to get started, you'll need a bow maker, or if you're good at holding the bow with your hands, you can do that too. With this many ribbons, I'm not that good at holding the bow in my hand. So you're gonna also need a zip tie. This is an 8-inch one, and with this many ribbons, you will want to use an 8-inch one. A pipe cleaner to be able to attach it to your wreath, or a lantern, or whatever you're gonna attach the bow to. And you will need a pair of wire cutters to cut the zip tie, and some good scissors for cutting the ribbon. I save the inside of the deco mesh rolls, and I use the inner tube to twirl the little 7/8 ribbon. Okay, so we'll get started with the 4-inch, and I'll put that in there. And what I'm going to do, since this is one directional ribbon, I'm going to cut my tail, and it's going to be a 12-inch tail, since it's probably going to be for maybe a tree bow, a bow for a tree. So here's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So cut it at that mark. But actually, 9, 10, 11, 12, we're going to cut it 2 inches longer, because you're going to need to, about 1 inch in, you're going to cinch it, scrunch it in the middle, and that's where you're going to put it in the bow maker, and that's going to be the one tail coming down, since it's one directional ribbon. Okay, and then we're going to start by making our loop. And since this is going to be a big bow, we're going to start out with 7-inch loops. And like I said, about 1 inch from the end, you want to scrunch it, and you want the pretty side down, so that when you come up and cross over like this, the pretty side is going to be facing up. So put that in your bow, and you'll be able to trim this little bit once you get the zip tie all secured. Okay, so pull out some ribbon here. We're going to do one loop of this 4-inch ribbon, and go to your 7-inch mark, and I always put my hand here so that I know I'm right at the mark. Okay, and then squinch it down, and then turn it. 4-inch ribbon is a little bit more difficult to do. Okay, and you're making sure that you're at the 7-inch mark still. Okay, then we're going to come back around, and see, with this one directional ribbon, the trees are going outward, which is the same on this side. It's just the tails that are going to be the part that's tedious. Okay, so come over here to the other 7-inch mark and we're going to scrunch it down. So if we came down with the tail, the trees would be upside down. So what I like to do is cut it off here. Cut about that much. Okay, there's your 2 loops and your 1 tail. And then we're going to measure 12 inches again. 14, so that we have that extra play. So come in about 1.5 inches down, scrunch it, and secure it right there. This is going to be your other tail. Okay, and like I said, the ribbon will hide these little tails hanging over, but you can also take your scissors and trim it once the zip tie is secured. So next we want to come in with a solid, and I'm going to come in with the 2.5 inch solid white, and we're going to cut this off. And we're going to measure 12 again, which is right here. I'm going to scrunch it in my hand, okay? And even though it's plain ribbon, there's a better side of the stitching, and you can tell this is the good side and this is the bad side. It just looks a little bit better. So you're going to twist it. Put your ribbon tail coming down, twist it, and for each different ribbon each size, I should say, we're going to come in a little bit like a 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch shorter. So here, this one was 7. We're going to do about 6.5. Let's see. Right? Yep, right about there. Okay. So then you scrunch it down, twist it. So you've got the good side facing up. Measure out 6.5 again. Right about there. And this, we're going to be doing 2 loops on each side. So we did 1 of the 4-inch, and we're going to be doing 2 of the white, the 2.5 inch. So we measure out same size as the first loop, pinch it down, twist it, and 1 more loop. Make sure it's the same size, pinch it down. You don't have to twist it this time because we're at the end. And then you come down with your loop or your tail. And sometimes that wants to pop up. So what I do is I take a pair of scissors and I'll put that down to hold it. And cut your tail. Okay, that's the white. So that's 4-inch, 2-inch. Now I'm going to come in, I think I want to come in with the solid pink. Sorry, no, that's right. I'm going to do this one. It's a pattern one from Sam's. And we're going to measure out 12 inches. And scrunch. Okay, twist. Move your scissors. Your tail's going to be coming down. Some people like to also make their tail and then their loops so that you have both your tails. See, this one's a little bit lower than this one because of the layers of the loops, but that's okay. I mean, I think it looks just as good. But you can instead of twisting that, you can make your loops even on each side and have the loops come down and then start your tails come down and then do your loops. But I think it looks just fine. So this one, we're going to come in just a little bit shorter. So wherever the 6-inch mark would be. So if you can see, if I can move the ribbon, 6-inch mark is right here. So there, it's going to be another 1/2 inch shorter. Scrunch down your ribbon in the center and twist. See, you can also do that and make sure you're at the 6-inch mark. And make one. So this one, here's your 6-inch mark. We're going to just do one loop because we're going to do 1, 2, 1, 2, and so forth. You can do 1, 2, 3. There's so many different ways of doing it, but this one I'm going to do 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Okay, stick that there to hold it. Okay, that's that one. Now we're going to come in with the 1.5 inch sizes. And this is the solid pink. Okay, measure, cut this. All right, measure out 12 inches. And it doesn't have to be exact, just around the 12-inch mark. Again, there's a good side and a bad side, and this is the good side. So we're going to twist it, move our scissors, have our tail coming down. So here, we're going to come up just a little bit shorter again, right about there. Gather in the center and twist, and you can fix it right like that. Okay, this one's going to be a little bit shorter, right about there. So we did 1 loop here. This one's going to be 2 loops. And 1 more loop on the pink. Scrunch, put my scissors there, bring it over and down, and cut it off. Okay, there's that one. So now we're going to do white, and I'm going to leave the pink tree 1.5 inch for the last. Okay, so we're going to measure 12, scrunch, remove the scissors. This is going to be a big bow. Okay, so here we did 2 of the pink. We're going to do 1 of the white. And it's going to be a little bit shorter than the last loop, which will be, let's see, that was 6, that's 5.5, so 5. Okay. And like I said, it doesn't have to be like 100% perfect. Nobody's going to like measure your loops. So just as long as it's like, you know, a finger width away. So we're just doing 1 loop of the white. Put my scissors there. Okay, and then we are down to the last 1.5 inch. This one's gonna be 2. So what we're gonna do, let's just cut this one at 24 inches. Actually, well, 14. That's the one of the tails. And 2 of the tails. So we can actually just put both of the tails in right now. So there's one. And then we'll scrunch this one about 1 inch away from the edge. Okay. Put that there to hold it. I need to re-glue my little peg. Okay, so now we're going to do our loops, and it's going to be 2 on each side. So we scrunch 1 inch from the edge, okay? And it's already facing downward, the good side. So this one's going to be shorter. And since this one was about 5, this one's going to be 4.5. Okay. Scrunch it down and twist this way, about a finger length away from there. Scrunch it down and twist. And 1 more loop. Scrunch and twist. Okay. Last one, and we're going to cut it so that there's about 1 inch or so, 1.5 inches. Let me put these here so that that won't come up. And like I said, you can always trim it. All right, now to top it off, I usually come in with the 7/8, any kind of 7/8, but for this one, since the bow is all white and pink, we're gonna do a little bit longer of a tail because it's gonna curl. So this, we're gonna scrunch, okay? And we're gonna do 1 loop of each, or 1 loop of this. So scrunch and twist. And then this is gonna be 1/2 inch shorter. Okay. Twist. And the white tail down. Hold that there. All right, let's get these out of the way. All right, so we've got our 8-inch zip tie. You know what you can also do is make a little, I should have shown you that first, but twist it right here, come around the peg so it has like, I don't know, like if you were to have your finger in there, and then you can go like that, and that'll be the little button to hide the pipe cleaner when you come up through the center. Okay, so we're gonna slide. You have to raise up your ribbon a little bit to get that pipe, zip tie in there. Okay, and then you come up, make sure you go under that little loop. You might have to scrunch it down. That's why I use an 8-inch zip tie for this. push it down. Probably could even use a bigger one. You can use a pipe cleaner too. I have 20-inch pipe cleaners. Okay, I'm gonna need this. Just grab it, there we go. Take it out, move your bow maker out of the way. So you want to slide this, don't pull it tight all the way yet. So you want to slide that around. And so you see where the peg made a divot, that's where you want your pipe cleaner to go. I mean, I'm sorry, your pipe cleaner or your zip tie, whatever you're using. You want that to be in the groove. So many ribbons. Come on. All right. Keep that. I always keep my thumb in there just so that it doesn't get all the way closed. So pull that to the back, and what you want to do is put your pipe cleaner. You might have to push all this ribbon down to slide that through. So this is what you're going to use to attach it to your wreath or your tree, or so at the same time you can pull that zip tie tight as you want. Now that you got the pipe cleaner in there. And I either use these or some needle nose pliers to pull that zip tie as tight as I can. And when you don't hear no more clicks, then you know you're done. So that's when you take your wire cutters and you cut off the end. And I always like to give the pipe cleaner one little twist so that way, well, two. That way it can't slide off. All right, so you got all these tails. You got your little loop there to cover the zip tie. All these tails and these little pieces I told you could trim. And then if it's still sticking out, because this is only 7/8 ribbon, you can cut it on an angle so that this is not showing. Just make sure you don't cut your other ribbons. Okay. Let's see if we need to trim any more. Trim this up just a little. And we got this one over here. Okay. And then this in the back. That was from the 4-inch. And this. Okay, so I'll fix that. You turn your bow over, and you have your one big 4-inch loop that's going to stay in the same place, right straight across. Then you're going to take and go on this side first, or whatever side, and you're going to pull these loops out like this. That one wants to come this way. There we go. Okay. And then you come over this way. And pull. So you have the pink shining, peeking through the two loops over here. and the pink peeking through up here. Then you have this one loop, which you're going to have coming like that. And then this one, let's see, let's move this over a little bit. There. This one, like that. And the pink. And this is where you can make sure that, you know, that they're straight and no pieces are like tucked under. Okay. Pink, pink, white. I really like that one from Sam's. Feels like this need, there we go. And we got one loop of the white. Two of these. Make these come down. And these pinks are a little bit off, but that's okay. Next time you can switch it and do two. I could have done two of the white loops, like in right here, or chose a different ribbon. And there's our little button. Hide the mechanics in the center. This one up that way. You would just make sure you can pull on that ribbon and tell it who's boss. That way you have each of the different ribbons peeking through when you pull them in each direction, like so. That one, the white one, and your 2 7/8 row. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna dovetail our ribbons, and you always start, you fold them in half, cut from the folded edge up to the top of the wired edge, and you get a nice dovetail. Okay, and then you do all of them. Like I said, they don't have to be the exact length. One over here. These 7/8 ribbon, all I do is I cut them on an angle, like so. Cut this one. Three more. right, there you have your tails. So you just play with them and get them how you want them. And cut them the length you want. Okay. And then, like I said, I take a tube from the deco mesh and I go like this. Wrap it around. Pull it out. And there's your little twinkle or curl. Twinkle. And then, so this one needs to go like that. Twist. Like that. Another way you can do the twist your ribbon tails is, oh, that one's a little funky. Is just take it around your two fingers and curl it on its own like that. Just roll it up and then grab the end. And there you go. Fix that little button loop. And just like I said, play with it and make the loops the way you want them. Whew, excuse me. All right, and there you have it. There's your tree topper bow or your wreath bow. Do this one again. There you go. You can also take a glue stick if you have a glue stick, if you want it tighter, like a tighter curl. Go like that. If you like that. All right, well, thanks for watching. And if you wouldn't mind hitting the subscribe button, I would greatly appreciate it. And you have a great day. Thank you.